I sometimes wish these stories weren't true. Hi everyone, I'm Rob, and this is On the Cheap Tips, Cheap Laughs. Now before we get started, I just want to remind you that we're still selling these t-shirts for a charity fundraiser, so if you haven't gotten yours yet, you need to get it because the campaign's up in like 13 days. So what are you waiting for? Go get it. Now for story time. Now for some of you that follow me on Instagram know that I've been filming a special project that I can't talk about until it drops, so you'll be hearing about it soon, and it's pretty cool if I don't say so myself. And for this project, I actually get like a production team. Everything. Lights, cameras, action. And I also have a producer who, by the way, thinks that I'm completely insane. I'm not crazy. Okay, I'm a little crazy. So yesterday was the second day of shooting for this project, and my producer comes up to me and says, we have to do these 2 interviews really fast. We don't have a lot of time, so we have to be really organized and make sure that we devise our time well. And I'm like, sure, perfectly fine. You know me, I'm very professional. I can get the job done. He knows that, because I'm the man. So we all sit down in a room in this like conference room to film. So right before we start shooting, my producer asked me to step outside so he could check mic levels of the other people because my mic was interfering. And I'm like, okay, sure. So I go outside and I close this big sliding glass door and I'm just waiting outside. So here I am, like kind of excited to do like these interviews. I'm just kind of being a little antsy. And then, you know, like my curious little self, I started kind of just fiddling, and I see this like little button on the door and it has like a keyhole, and I was like, oh, that must be to lock these doors. And so I'm just kind of like putting my finger on it, and I noticed that it has like a little bit of a spring to it, and I'm pressing it a little bit in and out, and then all of a sudden I press it and it doesn't pop back out. And then I'm like, oh, that looks like it locked the door. But it couldn't have locked it from the outside, right? So I go to open up the door and the door doesn't slide open. So I slowly start to tap on the door to get one of the guys that I was interviewing's attention. And I'm like, hey, can you just like, you know, open the door? Does it open from the inside? And he was looking for a way to open it and it wouldn't open. There's no button from the inside. I've locked them in this room. I seriously locked them in. Now in this room, there's my producer, there is the person holding the boom, there is 2 people that I'm supposed to interview. I am in a panic. So I like literally run to like an office worker and say, hi, I locked my production team in the office and I don't know how to get them out. And he's like, oh, you locked them in the office? I'm like, yeah, you have like a key or something? He's like, no, I wouldn't even know where to find that key. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm fired. And meanwhile, my producer is just staring at me through the glass. He probably made a vow to never work with children and animals. He probably is now making a new vow never to work with me again. So then the office worker ends up getting the maintenance guy, and the maintenance guy sees all these people stuck in this room and starts laughing. And at this point, I'm like, oh, haha, yeah, that's funny. Do you have a key? And he tells me, no, he doesn't have a key. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, sweat is pouring down my face just like now. I'm feeling that moment again. So then the maintenance man ends up going and finding these keys, and it's not a little stack of keys either. It's like the biggest stack of keys ever. And he has to like try one by one to see which one works. I mean, we're going through the whole rack of keys at this point, and we're coming down to like the last final 4, and I'm just like, oh my God, please let it be one of those keys. All of a sudden, clink, it goes in, and I'm like, oh, Jesus. Oh my God, only me. Let's just say that my producer still thinks I'm insane. I just always feel like I have to touch something. I have learned the biggest lesson ever. Don't touch that you're not supposed to touch. That's basically the lesson. Keep your hands by your side and just wait there until you're told what to do. Well, that's kind of a little kinky if you think about it. Anyway, that's all the cheap laughs that I have for you today, so make sure that you comment down below, like this video, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all this Monday for another cheap tip, and next Friday for more cheap laughs. Bye, guys. Clean, fucking up the flow, fucking up the flow. It always up the flow.